This is a CBS7 First Alert Weather Day. Now, an update from the First Alert Weather Center.
Well, good evening, and thanks for joining us on CBS7 News at 9 and on the CW, and thanks to those joining us live on the YouTube. I'm here with Chief Meteorologist Tom Teever-Teller on the CBS7 First Alert Weather Day. Tom, we are seeing some more extreme temperatures around the Permian Basin. Is that going to continue throughout the week?
Yes, it is, because we saw a wickedly hot day. Got a little over-enthusiastic there talking about weather because we've got some rain to actually talk about too. In addition to this extreme heat. Now, 5/100ths of an inch of rain has fallen from showers and thunderstorms this evening, but still a lot of activity out there. As I take a look at the live radar right now, you can see where that stationary front is really located back across portions of Andrews County in the Martin County around Big Spring, and the thunderstorms are firing up along that and moving off to the north and northeast. We see activity from near the Hobbs area, just north and near Andrews now, where we could be looking at wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour with some of this, and maybe up to dime-size hail, especially with some of the thunderstorms here across western portions of Gaines County. Zooming in a little bit again, brief showers, thunder showers moving across portions of Andrews County along State Highway 115 at the present time, and a little more activity back around Carlsbad over towards Guadalupe Mountains National Park. Now, a lot of this is going to wind down now that the sun is setting, but still we got a couple more hours of some thunder showers. It was extremely hot. We got up to 107 out at the Miller National Air and Spaceport, 108 in Odessa. The hot spot was Rio Grande Village, up to 116 degrees today, with some 110s, Wink Pecos, 111 in Presidio. Now I take a look at the current temperatures as we look off to the north and northeast towards some of that thunder shower activity. And we're still dealing with triple digits out there in many locations here at 9 o'clock, and some blustery winds too, especially in the vicinity of some of these thunder showers, up to 43-mile-an-hour gusts, and blowing dust being reported in and around the Carlsbad area. And tomorrow, more of the same. We even could throw in an isolated shower thunderstorm in the forecast, as we're expecting temperatures in excess of 105 degrees for Tuesday.
Thanks, Tom. As we endure yet another heat wave, one nonprofit has seen an uptick in a need for their services. A broken air conditioner is an inconvenience for many, but for vulnerable seniors, it can be dire. Christmas in Action aids the elderly and people with disabilities with home repairs. The nonprofit staff say they've gone through their stockpile of window units and have ordered more. This especially hot summer has taken a toll on older AC systems.
We're seeing a huge increase with this prolonged exposure. Most people can get by for a couple of weeks with some window units that they may have already had, or older units with some fans. But with this long durations of heat, it's really stressed a lot of people's systems.
According to Senior Life Midland, seniors are more prone to dehydration and heat stroke or exhaustion. Some medications may prohibit seniors from getting overheated.
For someone to come in and mess this up, that's just not okay. That's terrible.
Midland ISD is asking for the public's help in identifying the two people who were caught on camera vandalizing senior parking spots over the weekend. MISD seniors continued a long-standing tradition of painting their parking spots for the upcoming school year. However, early Sunday morning, two individuals vandalized some of those parking spots at both Midland and Legacy High School. Over 50 senior parking spots were vandalized. After the news broke Sunday morning, students for the first time in history rushed to school during summer break to check on their spots.
Honestly, I woke up from the news from my parents, and they told me, hey, let's go to the parking lot real quick. Apparently a bunch of the spots got hit. So I got here, saw it, saw all my friends all around here that got hit as well. I was like, that's really disappointing.
Joseph and his father were out in the parking lot until 1 a.m. Sunday morning painting his spot, and just a few hours later, all their hard work was ruined. Midland ISD said in a statement about the incident, quote, "We would like to extend our deepest apologies to the students of the class of 2024 who were affected by this, many of whom have already repainted the design in their designated parking space," end quote. MISD also said they will be seeking disciplinary and criminal charges as appropriate upon completion of the investigation. If you have any information about these vandals, you can leave an anonymous tip for Midland Crime Stoppers at 694-TIPS. We're tracking crime now in Midland County, where the Sheriff's Office says that they conducted a sex offender compliance operation. Out of the 33 people contacted during this operation, these 2 were arrested for failure to comply with sex offender duty to register. There are 47-year-old Cody Pilgrim and 59-year-old Toby Potts. However, the sheriff's office says that 4 other sex offenders are still not in compliance and will have warrants issued for their arrest. Odessa police are looking for a suspect in a hit and run. The incident happened last Wednesday at the 1100 block of I-20. According to OPD, an investigation revealed that a red Ford F-150 left the roadway and struck the center guard wire, causing a post to hit another vehicle on the interstate. The driver of the F-150 then fled the scene without providing information as required by law. Anyone who recognizes a suspect on your screen is encouraged to contact OPD or Odessa Crime Stoppers. And tonight, ECISD held 2 town hall meetings for parents and community members to discuss the new bond recommendation, one of which was held at West Elementary. Included in the over $427 million proposed bond is what board members hope will be a new middle school for West Odessa.
The more we kick this down the road, the more expensive it's going to get.
The ECISD bond recommendation includes $120 million for a new middle school that board members want to be built in West Odessa. It would be 170,000 square feet and serve 1,000 students.
There's 60,000 people out here, and all these students need to be serviced and taken care of as well.
Board members and local officials heard from West Odessans at a town hall about their thoughts on the bond. The biggest concern seemed to be financials, what the middle school would offer, and where it would be. The board also received praise for the recommendation.
My question will be is how much further in debt is it going to put us, and I'm willing to pay a little more on my taxes, but I want to make sure that the kids out here are taken care of. Simple as that.
The bond recommendation will not raise the tax rate. West Odessan Kevin Searcy graduated from Odessa High and served on the bond committee. He says population growth coupled with outdated facilities is a major concern of his.
My fear is we kick this down the road another 5, 10, 15 years, and then we wake up one day realizing, well, we grew another 20%, and we just can't meet these needs.
The Permian Strategic Partnership has pledged financial support for the bond.
With all these people putting this towards this and seeing these needs, I want the community to realize that, yeah, if they believe that we're going to need the workforce, then we're going to need the workforce. Otherwise, they wouldn't make these donations.
Tomorrow night, the board meets to further discuss the bond recommendations, taking discussions from tonight's town hall into consideration. Foster homes provide structure, safety, and peace for children who need those essentials. But in Odessa and Midland, there are not enough homes licensed to take care of these children. There are around 300 children in substitute care in Midland and Odessa, but as of June, 153 children are away from the Permian Basin because there are not enough homes in the area to fill the demand. Between Odessa and Midland, there are 66 licensed foster homes.
We do need foster parents to become licensed, and that means going through trainings and as well as ensuring that their home has the proper inspections, so that way foster children that are living outside of the Permian Basin area can come back home.
As of June 2023, 153 children whose parents are in Odessa or Midland have been placed outside of the Permian Basin, uprooting their life beyond leaving their family.
I've heard stories of children who cry because they leave their school and because they leave not just their family, they're losing so much more than their family. And so when they can stay within their own communities, they continue to have that support and see that they are loved.
Becoming a licensed foster parent includes a 5-week training course that totals about 30 hours to learn about the proper care that is needed. For more information on how you can become a foster parent, you can visit our website at CBS7.com. And now for a look at today's top headlines shown here in real time with real viewers on CBS7.com. See all of these stories and more by downloading our app or visiting our website at CBS7.com. And still ahead, National 811 Day is coming up this week. We tell you why this hotline is important and what you need to do coming up on CBS 7 News at 9. Happening this week, August 11th is National Call 811 Day as part of a pipeline safety initiative. Whether it's homeowners digging in their backyard or construction crews working, they must notify utility companies about their plan 3 days before starting. Once you call 811, they'll refer you to that utilities department that has a pipeline located by color of the paint or flags, because different colored marks have different meanings. Those colors include red, orange, yellow, blue, purple, green, white, and pink. One common color throughout the Permian Basin is the yellow marks and flags. Yellow stands for natural gas and oil, petroleum, or other gaseous or flammable materials.
Unfortunately, underground pipelines get hit quite regularly, and when that happens, it can cause a minor inconvenience of losing water or natural gas service or even internet.
If people do not comply with these rules, it can result in a fine from the state, and depending on any other damage, it can also result in paying for repairs and/or injuries. For more information on the colors of the other flags and more information on 811, you can visit our website at CBS7.com.
Well, we have been looking at an extremely hot day, but now it's produced a few thunderstorms we'll get you up to date on coming up next.
This is a CBS7 First Alert Weather Day. Now, an update from Chief Meteorologist Tom Tieferteller.
Well, let's describe that summer heat before we get into it. Glenn Mata telling us this one on Facebook. Saw a dog chasing a cat, but it's so hot they were both walking. And that's what you really need to do in this weather is pace yourself, because it is extremely, extremely hot. When we're dealing with temperatures 107 plus out there, that's something else. But look at the 110s, Wink, Pecos, 111 in Presidio, and the hot spot was 116 down towards Rio Grande Village. And we might see a carbon copy of this coming up for tomorrow. Take a look at current temperatures, still in the triple digits across many areas, including Midland and Odessa. It really didn't feel that bad out there. I guess I'm getting used to it like everybody else, unfortunately. But again, seeing lots of temperatures there, triple digits, and down to 105 still in Presidio. Saw a little lightning off in the distance there right behind me. Well, that is that thunderstorm activity we have across parts of the northern Permian Basin, scooting across from just northeast of Andrews. Have some thunder shower activity back towards the Hobbs area, Carlsbad, and down towards Guadalupe Mountains National Park. Now, have seen seeing a little bit of a decrease in it now that the sun has set, expecting it to linger through about the midnight hour as that little disturbance does scoot across to the east. And it's riding right around this big area, high pressure, that's not going anywhere. It's going to stay in our forecast and keep things hot. But also we could see an isolated shower thunderstorm rotate around with a disturbance with it. Again, everything's forming up along this stationary front across the northern Permian Basin in this trough of low pressure as things remain very hot out there and across the state. Wickedly hot, except behind this front. Lubbock only 95, 90 in Amarillo, 87 in Oklahoma City. Some good news because everybody else was ridiculously hot today. And at one time down in Corpus Christi, the heat index value, what it felt like was 123 degrees, extremely dangerously hot. Well, we're going to see most of the thunder shower activity wind down after midnight and a lot less of it on the way. We're not going to have the upper level support or that front really to help things out tomorrow. So just keeping some isolated ones in the forecast. As we'll get out of the 90s after midnight tonight and only a very mild overnight in the upper 70s tomorrow. Carbon copy of today, 107 plus across many locations. And that's really going to be the trend here for the rest of the week as we're going to be looking at very hot conditions. Limit your time outside. Can't rule out an isolated shower or thunder shower, but again, the key word there is they're going to be isolated.
Still ahead, learn more about the Big Spring Steers and 4 Sand Buffaloes in CBS7's Big Spring previews after the break.
Now, sports with Jair Brooks Davis from the Ford Sports Desk.
So we continue our CBS7 Pigskin preview. Today we start with the 4 Sand Buffaloes. So they are coming in on a mission. They lost a few notable players, but head coach Jason Phillips and his team are ready to face a new challenge. If the 4 Sand Buffaloes want to make a run for a district championship, it begins with their defense.
We're trying to get kids that can run on the field. Even our defensive line are guys that can run and move, and we want guys that can fly to the football, be disruptive, and cause turnovers. And I think our defense is ahead of schedule, especially with all the stuff that we've thrown at them this first week or so.
We're going to have me back playing mostly deep ball and run. with Brooks Wright, he's going to be up closer on the line almost like a linebacker.
Junior Dustin Spalla and Brooks Wright will be joined by Josh Rios and Hayden Bolden to lead a strong secondary. And with a strong secondary for the Buffaloes comes a strong front line.
We've got Houston Stockton and Connor Lusk at our defensive ends. They're real physical players. Our starting nose guard is Demarion Osby. All three of these guys are juniors.
On the other side of the ball, the question remains, who will be the starting quarterback between Nicholas Holloway and Brooks Wright?
Both of them have looked really good. They did well during 7-on-7. They've looked well during summer workouts. So I think we're going to be able to utilize both those guys at some point. I think they both bring positives to the offense.
It's really good. You know, me and Brooks pushing each other every day and just competing. You know, it's really fun to see who's going to be the starting quarterback. But I feel like we're going to switch a lot and we're going to be really good together.
And regardless of who's at quarterback, they will have various weapons to hand the ball off to or throw it towards.
We have Kevin Kogora. He's a strong running back. He's been playing varsity for 3 years now. Then we have Grant Roman. We have a good tight end, Bryson Cervantes.
We have Hayden Bolden, who played quite a bit for us last year as a freshman. We've got Colton Martinez, and then we have Josh Rios, who probably be one of our slot receivers, along with Braden Cervantes and those guys. I think the sky's the limits for this team. We play in a tough district. We want to win a district championship, but I think these guys are willing to put in the work and put in the effort and get that done.
Now, staying in Howard County, Big Spring returns almost all of its entire offense from last season. CBS7 Sports Director Jacob Randberg has more on the Steers.
Y'all remember the Dallas Cowboys triplets? Well, meet the Big Spring version of that. Record-setting quarterback Gavin Padron, dynamic running back Kavian Ford, and big play receiver Ziari Franklin.
It's cool. We're all guys on and off the field, so we just really enjoy time around each other.
We got a quarterback with a strong arm. We got a strong running back, which is also pretty quick. They're all quick, so I'm glad to be a part of it.
My running back and my receiver, they're crazy athletes. Kavian go jump out the gym, get it, even though he's a running back. Ziari will go jump out the gym, get it, and they can out-sprint anybody.
The big three are among the 9 starters that return to the Steer Raid offense.
So it's just a play on words from the air raid. Again, we took what Hal Mummy did, what Mike Leach did, and really what I learned under David Wood and Ralph Mason, who was at Andrews, and we tried to implement that offense here. Again, it's just a fast, put people in space, put the ball in the air a bunch, and really just get athletes in space and let them go to work.
We try getting the ball out of my hand as quick as possible to throw it in the air as much as we can, but also KV in the backfield so we can run the ball as well.
You wouldn't think he was our starting quarterback. I think he's 5'9", 135 pounds, soaking wet, but he's just got that it factor. I can't really explain it, but I've now got a 2.5-year-old, and if he can turn out like Gavin, man, I'd be happy as heck.
Several key players like Ford and Franklin will play on defense as well.
And I felt like our defense really led us toward the end of last year, and we've got a bunch of those starters coming back. So I think the whole thing is exciting, and then the fun part is still developing those young kids and getting them ready to go. Because you mentioned those big three, and yes, they're going to be key components. We got to keep them healthy, but we've got to have other kids ready to go as well.
After a miraculous playoff victory last year, Big Spring wants to keep progressing.
It was really good to get a gold ball, but now the goal is to push it a little bit further. Again, we want to get into playing in that Thanksgiving football range.
And try to go farther than we did last year. Last year we did great, but I feel like we can do better.
We really want a district championship. We haven't had one since like 1990, so that's really the goal. We want a district championship. There's been a lot of doubt about this team, so for us to accomplish something like that would be huge.
And just before we go, I wanted to remind you all that high school volleyball is back tonight. Midland Christian and Permian have begun their first matches of the season as both take on El Paso Franklin. Now later on at 10, CBS7 Sports Director Jacob Brandenburg will have more on that. But for now, stick around. We've got more to come after this quick break.
The Barbie movie craze is getting weird. Mattel has released Weird Barbie, and if you don't know Weird Barbie, she's a character in the new movie who just looks a little, well, weird. This Barbie is designed to look like she was played with just a little too much, and she has short blonde hair to look like a child cut it. She has a marker drawn all over her face, a bright pink dress, and a green snakeskin boots. Now this $50 Barbie is made to order, and Mattel will only be taking orders until August 18th, so you need to act fast. Tom, I honestly think this will sell out.
It will sell out, and then they'll decide, oh, people like this, so it'll be in stores by Christmas. Okay?
There you go. But I saw the Barbie movie, Weird Barbie. I liked Weird Barbie.
Weird Barbie supposedly was based upon an early design back in the 60s or something like that. So they made one before, kind of like it with the shorter hair. Anyway, for West Texas, you need short hair or pull it back or something, because look at this heat. It will melt you as we're looking at temperatures 107 plus. It looks like here for tomorrow and really the rest of the week. Limit your time outside and hope one of those isolated showers or thunder showers comes your way.
Well, thanks for watching CBS 7 First Alert News at 9 on CW. We have more news coming up tonight on CBS 7 News at 10.